It's a story that must be told. Are kind of old. One's a pastor, the other's not. They like to cook and pray a lot. Oh, chat, cook and pray. Oh, chat, cook and pray. Oh, chat, cook and pray. Oh, chat, cook, pray. There's lots of laughter and lots of fun. Tuesdays on Facebook Live at 1. You'll never know what will happen when Lucy and Ethel are at it again. Oh, chat, cook and pray. Oh, chat, cook and pray. Oh, chat, cook and pray. Oh, chat, cook, pray. Oh, chat, cook and pray. Oh, chat, cook and pray. Oh, chat, cook and pray. Oh, chat, cook, pray. Amen. Yay, Chiefs! Oh, we've got our Chiefs hanging up, and here she is in her conference champion shirt. We're wearing the red. I got my Chiefs earrings. Woo! It has been great. It was a wonderful game. We loved it. We're cooking soup today. Marty's cooking a special soup to warm us up because it is cold today. So I'm going to go around. She's going to start up her burner, and we're heading off for soup.
Soup. Okay, this is a very easy recipe that I think you'll all really, really like. I mean, it's really strange. I would have never have done it any other time but now. So what I'm going to start with is melting 1/4 of a cup of butter in the skillet.
Okay, now be sure and speak up loud
Yes.
because that thing makes noise.
Yes, it does. It's noisy. Very noisy.
Betty Ferris is watching. Hi, Betty.
Okay.
I'm going to let her get she's going to
Okay.
put in a few ingredients before I start reading.
Right, I'm melting this butter.
Oh,
Woo!
Ah.
You know what? It just hangs right there.
that hangs right there. And
Okay.
she was late in giving it the old snap in the seam thing. She forgot about it, I know.
Yes, I had it laid out and everything. Okay, I'm going to add in 2 cups of chopped celery.
Okay. That was 2 cups in that little bowl?
I mean 2 cups, 2 stalks.
Thank you.
Yeah, 2 cups.
2 stalks of celery.
And 1 carrot diced up. Well, it said chopped, but I diced them, so it'll cook faster. And then half an onion.
Half an onion chopped up.
Yes. And I'm just going to stir these in here, and I'm going to cook these. I'm going to melt this butter down, then I'm going to add in 1.5 tablespoons of flour and let that cook for about 5 minutes, and then I'll be adding in the other ingredients.
Okay, so while she lets this cook, before she adds in her flour, I'm going to tell you about mulligatawny soup. Mulligatawny. I say it correctly, mulligatawny. Mulligatawny soup is a soup which originated from South Indian cuisine. The name originates from the Tamil words Mulligai, which is chili, or Malagu, which is pepper and water. It's related to the dish rasam, for all of you who know what rasam is.
I don't even know what that is.
I know.
I didn't look it up.
Okay, it is believed to have been savored in Sri Lanka and reached Tamil Nadu during the British Raj around the 1800s. It's also said that this soup was based on an Indian dish and was changed into soup to satiate the fussy British soldiers during the British Raj. Now, I'm assuming the British Raj was when the Britons or the English came over to India to make it a
Kingdom.
part of their kingdom. Okay.
Yeah, whatever they called themselves.
Okay, so a Raj, R-A-J, J.
Raj.
Okay, and here's Deb McKim and Bill Wooten are watching.
gosh.
Randy's there. And Randy's reminding everybody to push the like button.
Yes, that
Okay,
always helps us.
it does.
Makes us think we're liked.
That's right. Mulligatawny was very popular in India by the end of the 18th century. You know, Marty's always trying to get us some of these more modern recipes here. It was very popular by the end of the 18th century. By the 1800s, it began to appear in cookbooks of the day, with each cookbook featuring its own recipe. Recipes for mulligatawny varied greatly at that time, and over the years, this one person, Maria Rundell, had 3 different versions, and later versions of the soup included British modifications that included meat, though the local Madra recipe did not. Early references to it in English go back to 1784. In 1827, William Kitchener wrote that it had become fashionable in Britain. Now, we ate some kind of chicken soup not too long ago. What was that? Chicken and what?
Chicken and cream? No.
Not rice. Chicken. It was just like a vegetable soup that you said it was one of the best soups.
Yeah,
But,
I don't know. We've got so many recipes.
Okay. Okay, here's what the name means. Mulligatawny. Okay, Mulligatawny signifies pepper water. The progress. Okay, this sentence makes no sense to me. I am going to read it anyway. The progress of inexperienced peripatetic politicians. I don't even know what. The only word I got from that was inexperienced, which is how we feel right now. I don't know what peripatetic and Palaticians, the progress of those things has lately been arrested by this outlandish word being pasted on the windows of coffee houses.
Huh?
I guess when somebody sees mulligatawny on a coffee house, I don't know what it means. It has, we believe, answered the restaurateur's purpose and often excited John Bull to walk in and taste.
Huh?
The more familiar name of curry soup would perhaps not have had sufficient charms of novelty to seduce him from his much-loved mock turtle. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Here you go. This guy must have been a...
Oh, the British. The mock turtle is their favorite soup.
I'm talking about who the heck John Bull is.
Well...
He must have been a critic. And if you just put curry soup on the window, nobody'd walk in. But when you put mulligatawny, it would draw you in. It is a fashionable soup and a great favorite with our East Indian friends, and we give the best recipe we could procure for it. Let's not make something that has all of this that goes with it the next time.
Well, I think it's much more fun to torture you.
By the mid-1800s, Wyvern, the pen name of Arthur Robert Kinney Herbert, who lived from 1840 to 1916, wrote in his popular culinary jottings that really well-made mulligatawny is a thing of the past. Okay, so we're not going to be able to make it. It won't taste... You know, I've got to say, when Marty told me the ingredients of this and then said it was like pepper water, it was called pepper water and stuff, I'm going to be looking forward to tasting it, but it doesn't get my taste buds excited.
Don't worry. It doesn't have to.
Okay. He also noted that this simple recipe prepared by poor natives of Madra are made by Mutusami.
Who's that?
Was made by pound. That's the name of what he calls the poorer soup.
Oh.
It's not really mulligatawny. He calls it mutusami. And it was made by pounding a dessert spoonful of tamarind 6 red chilies, 6 cloves of garlic, a teaspoonful of mustard seed, a saltspoonful of fenugreek seed, 12 black peppercorns, a teaspoonful of salt, and 6 leaves of kairai pak. Do you have 6 leaves of kairai pak here?
Oh, I ate them this morning.
Okay.
Earlier.
Okay, so then after you pound all this, and you can see we're not doing this,
No.
so we must be making the poorer version.
I think we are.
When worked to a paste, he adds a pint of water and boils the mixture for a quarter of an hour. And while this is going on, he cuts up 2 small onions, puts them into a chatty. Don't ask me what a chatty is. I'm chatty, but I'm not what you put in
Oh, I think it's
to
some kind of a
bowl. I don't know.
No, I think it's like a mixture, like a roux would be kind of thing, something like that.
Okay. And fries them in dessert spoonful of ghee till they begin to turn brown. When he strains the pepper water into the chatty and cooks the mixture for 5 minutes, after which it is ready. The pepper water is, of course, eaten with a large quantity of boiled rice and is a meal in itself. The English, taking their ideas from this simple composition, they call that a simple composition, added other condiments with chicken, mutton, thickened the liquid with flour and butter, and by degrees succeeded in concocting a soup grasse of a decidedly acceptable kind. Okay. I am anxiously awaiting. Okay, what have you done? Did you add the flour to the butter?
I added the flour to the butter.
And how much flour was it?
1.5 tablespoons of flour. And then I added the curry in, which is 1.5 teaspoons of curry.
Okay, see, that's what I'm smelling, the curry.
It's really good.
Yeah.
If you're not a curry, don't worry. This isn't that heavy in curry. Trust me.
Yeah.
Randy tasted it, and you know, the recipe calls...
It's okay. We can have things that, I may not find the flavor as satisfying. My goodness, we made those wonderful cookies that burnt like lava, and I even liked that.
Yeah.
So.
That's sad.
But.
I'm going to kind of cheat on the recipe a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and pour the rice in. It's 1/4 of a cup of rice.
Uh-huh.
And it just kind of, I think, adds more of a thickening, but we want to make sure the stuff cooks fast, so we're going to cheat on the recipe.
Okay.
So we'll pour that in there.
All right.
And then I'm going to dice up an apple here. That's kind of unusual that we're going to throw an apple in.
See, that was another thing that threw me off.
Just one of the many things.
One of the many things that throws me off. That's correct.
Okay. Now I will attempt my knife skills here.
Oh, do not cut yourself.
Oh, I won't.
You're never supposed to cut toward you, are you?
That's the way I do it, so I don't cut my fingers off. The other
Okay.
hand. I'd
Well,
like
you
see
need
where-
to actually, we should have a cutting board instead
Well, I
of
know,
doing
but
this.
this way they can see how great I am.
Yeah. If it goes well, we're fine.
If it doesn't, well,
If
we
it
got a
doesn't,
first aid kit handy.
what I'm glad about, we got a red tablecloth.
That's right, you'll never see.
Never see it.
And if you come over to administer first aid, you have a red shirt on. So
That's
hey,
true. So
all
it
the
won't
bases are
won't
covered.
get on my red shirt.
No, all the bases are covered.
So she is slicing up and chopping 1 apple. Is that correct?
Half an apple.
Oh, half an apple.
Yes,
Okay.
and I was informed by my shopper, Mr. Pace, that these darn apple cost $1. He was quite complaining. He says, "Are you
What
buying
kind
this?"
of apple is it?
The cheapest one they had. This is a Jazzy, I think. It was the cheapest one.
I see.
And he said, "Was this for check, cook, pray?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Well, okay then." And then he liked the soup a lot, so he's liked almost everything, actually. Actually, he has.
Yes.
And this one, I think I have used him as my test kitchen person
Right.
a lot.
Right.
And when one of the parts of the soup is at the end, when you're serving it, then you pour a little bit of warm, it said heavy cream, but I used half and half on it. So I did that for his first serving, because he ate almost all of it. I put it on there. Well, he said, "I think I'll take some more." I said, well, you want me to heat up some more of the cream for you? He goes, no, I'll just try it without it. And he goes, well, it's quite good, but I do believe the cream added another dimension to the flavors.
Do we have cream?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Of course. I didn't want you to be dimensionless. See how I'm doing this without cutting myself?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I'm quite good at it. I do it
Yeah.
all the time.
It's a long time to cut up an apple.
Well, I've got quite a bit of time over here, so I just, when you're bored, cut up an apple.
Okay, I do want to share with you that this was one of the soups. If any of you ever watched Seinfeld, which I'm sure a lot of you did, this is one of the soups that was prepared by the soup Nazi in a famous Seinfeld episode that I think is just hilarious. I love that whole thing. You had to order your soup, and if you didn't get it ordered and have the correct change, you got sent out and you didn't get your soup.
Yeah.
So they must have made some Mulligatawny soup was one of the soup specials of the day on that episode.
Yes, and they had, when I looked up the episode, they had the recipe there, and it was much more involved than the one we're fixing today.
But it is cold out today. I've been cold all day in here even.
I know. It was cold. Yesterday I came in and the temperature was nice and warm in here.
Yeah, I
Today
don't know.
I
It
came
just,
in and I was cold.
yeah. So now, once you get the apple cut, when do you do anything with the chicken?
Well, I put it all in at the same time, and I'm waiting for this to get a little more done there. Besides, I'm still cutting up apple, as you know.
Yeah. Is it boiling?
Yes, it's boiling.
Boiling away.
I'm just kind of cheating on the recipe because I know you're hungry and you are so anxious to try this delicious recipe that you just can't contain yourself. So I'm opening you up to new experiences.
Oh, I know. I've been opened up to new experiences with the tagine.
Yes. Have you ever used curry in cooking?
I don't if I don't have to.
Oh, we sponsored an officer and his family from India, and I learned how to use curry a lot in cooking. I also learned that in my humble opinion, I wasn't a very good Indian cook. However, whenever they would come to visit, and I always fixed the foods they would eat, which was Indian food, they'd say, oh, it smells just like home. It tastes just like home. Well, that kind of scared me because I didn't follow the recipes as to what it said to do, but they loved the food. And I decided that as long as I made it yellow and hot, we were good to go.
You were good to go.
Absolutely good to go.
Okay. All right. So she continues to chop up her apple
On my plastic bag.
on the plastic bag. We use the latest in culinary expertise, so
Oh, absolutely.
there you go.
We try to eliminate as much of our cleanup as possible.
All right.
Now let me check my pot over here. Mm. Oh yeah, this smells so good. Oh yes, it's getting. The rice has still got a ways to go. So therefore I know the carrots and onion have a ways to go.
Yeah. Do we have to wait till they're cooked before you add this stuff?
No.
Oh.
It'll be fine. There goes the apple in. Size it and give it time to really cook in there and
Yeah. Hey, now next week, you all, we are doing a tailgating. I'm going to be making garlic parmesan chicken wings in the air fryer, and they are delicious. And Marty, what did you say you were going to do?
I am making a no-bake cookie that is Rice Krispies.
And we thank the Lord that it's no bake, because we're not going to go the lava route again.
No, not intentionally at least. I didn't intend
If it's no bake, it can't. There's nothing that can happen to it.
Yes, I have to make the sauce part of it, and I have to microwave the topping. So there's all sorts
Oh.
of things that could happen.
I see.
It could be.
We like to keep you on edge. Now, when did we put in the chicken broth?
I already put that
Oh, but you just have.
in, and I added the chicken in now. But I used, I actually had a thing of chicken stock because that's what
Okay.
I bought. And then
Chicken
it
broth.
said four cups. What did it say? 4 cups. I'm adding a little bit more because I found when I made it at home, it needed a little more. It was a little too stiff for me because right now all I can eat is clear liquids or things that don't have anything in them except flavor.
Okay, I have not been looking at our comments, so I do not understand what Randy is referring to here.
Say,
He says only about an inch. I don't know what he was, and then he says north of here about
oh,
6.
snow, probably from
Oh.
my sister maybe.
Oh,
Because
okay.
I think Iowa and my friend
Yeah,
Deb,
60 miles from here they got hammered. It said.
yeah. And did you see all the school closings on the TV today?
Well, and I thought, and so many of them I thought were virtual, so that shouldn't close them. But maybe
No, some of the
even-
ones they said if it was virtual or not, but the others,
Yeah.
all those
right.
outlying areas were closed
Yeah.
today.
Yeah, it wasn't bad at all driving in today.
No, the one
The-
I walked Benny this morning, it was a little iffy, but
Yeah.
we
Do we want to sit over here and yak a
Yes.
while that
yes,
cooks?
because this just needs to cook away for
Right.
a while. And so
That's
we'll
what I
just-
thought.
And then I'm going to serve it over at the table anyway, so they can see it.
Right.
when
So it's
done.
just cooking now.
Yes.
It's just cooking. We've got our little heart. Our little heart is on the wall.
Yes, it is.
There we go. Oh
Mm.
yes. So
All
we
right.
are slowly changing over. You know, February's around the corner. Lent's around the corner. Ash Wednesday's around the corner.
Hard to believe.
Hard to believe. So we are setting up our little bound. Oh, lights out.
geez.
Lights are out. You know, I don't think it looks bad having the lights out.
I know, but you know, I want them to see all our wrinkles and
Well, they can see that in here.
fluorescent lighting. It's really nice. I'm gonna scoot this a little
Oh,
closer
my
so that
goodness.
when I bring it over, you'll be able to see it.
Yes. Now I do have to say, if you were in here, you can smell the curry. I
Yes,
hope it
it's
doesn't.
making my nose run.
I know. I hope it doesn't make me have a sneezing attack.
If it does, it'll be interesting.
Oh, yes, it will.
Here, I have a Kleenex.
So
for you.
I've got my napkin.
Oh, okay, I got
No.
the next one.
But anywhoozy, that'll be interesting. I'm not that mulligatawny. Mulligatawny soup. It's just
Yeah.
it's fun to say the name. I've got to say, mulligatawny.
I think you'll be.
Hi
you'll be
Pat, that's
surprised.
Pat Armstrong's watching.
I think you'll be surprised as to how it does really taste.
I'm open to it. I'm open to it. I think I haven't disliked anything that.
Well, no, you eat burnt cookies and nothing. What the heck?
Oh,
Now, I don't fix anything with eggplant or coconut because I know that those are not things that should.
eggplant is not my
It's
thing.
too slimy. Oh, and okra, I do not eat that.
Yeah.
It's
No.
slimy.
That's-
Ugh.
Yes. But for those of you that have good recipes for it, that's fine. Oh goodness, we did not turn off the ringer there.
No.
Excuse us while we answer the phone in the
Oh,
middle
it's
of
an
our
idiot call.
cooking show. Either that or she'll hang up,
Hello?
I don't know. But anyway, I hope everything's going well. I wonder if how many of you out there may have already had your vaccinations. I don't know if any of you, if any of you had a vaccination, just put a thumbs up as we are continuing to wait for more vaccines to be available. Because that is so important. I don't know how many of you were able to watch most of the inauguration, but if you heard Amanda Gorman, the young poet laureate, she read a beautiful poem, and I've looked her up since then, and she has written other you know, wonderful, wonderful poems. And one, I can't remember exactly, I didn't put the name down, but it was called In the Morning or something like that. And I love these lines because I think right now we are going through this whole pandemic that has been such a, you know, such a challenge for the world. But here's what she says in a few lines of this poem. For it's our grief that gives us our gratitude, shows us how to find hope if we ever lose it. So ensure that this ache wasn't endured in vain. Do not ignore the pain. Give it purpose. Use it. Read children's books. Dance alone to DJ music. Know that this distance will make our hearts grow fonder. From a wave of woes, our world will emerge stronger. I just love that. I thought that said so much in just those few lines. Especially that from a wave of woes, our world will emerge stronger. And I thought that had so much prophecy in it. I don't know. Because I think in many ways now that this has gone on so long and we have endured quite a bit, I'm thinking there's a lot of things that can emerge stronger from this experience that we all find ourselves in. And so I just appreciated her words that bring hope and the fact that we can take this challenge, give it a purpose, and use it. Oh, Marty's over there checking out to see she's eating away. Does it still need to cook some more?
Yes, needed some salt.
Okay. Gee, she admits it needed some salt.
Well, I used no salt added chicken broth.
Oh, there you go.
So that was.
Yes. That's true. That affects the flavor.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. All right. She's coming back.
Returning.
Let's see who else is up there. Patrick Ryan.
Uh-huh. You know, 2 years ago, Patrick Ryan and I went to the playoff game when we played the New England Patriots.
Uh-huh.
So we were there for that loss. But it was really exciting to be at the stadium. We were in the gold section. We were really lucky.
The gold section.
Oh, yeah. We got to be inside where it was warm, and then we could go outside and freeze. It was great.
Oh, good. Yeah, so as I was saying, we got stuff coming up. I mean, Easter comes so fast this year. Easter Sunday is April 4th.
I know.
Ash Wednesday is February 17th.
I was hoping for it to be later this year, so it would be a little warmer.
I
maybe.
know, but it won't be. And this Sunday, of course, immediately following the service, we're going to have our annual congregational meeting, and you have been sent out today the link to that. So there'll be a quick break after the worship where you'll have time to go to your email and click on the link, and we're going to be doing this by Zoom. I tell you what, our language has changed with all of these things. I say Zoom so many times, and I don't know that I ever said it much before now, but I'm always zooming.
Yeah, you do it all the time. I come in and think you're talking to yourself. You're in a meeting.
Okay. Vicky says, I explained much earlier what peripatetic meant when you read the
We didn't show up.
passages. I don't know. I was probably busy
Yeah,
expounding on.
Don had his first vaccine at the VA. I get mine tomorrow at Truman, Pat Armstrong.
Okay, great. So
And
anybody else had their vaccines?
and It was Patrick that asked about the snow. He lives in
Oh,
Louisville.
okay.
And that was Randy was saying. What Randy says, what do you call a cow with a twitch?
I don't know.
Beef jerky.
Okay. Vicky says scroll up. So scroll up.
It is a non.
Marty's scrolling up on her phone.
Yeah.
I hate to touch the screen because
we've had
more than
issues.
likely, if I try to scroll up, it'll mess up our picture.
Every time.
Every time. So we'll either see it after the thing, or
Sometimes
you can rewrite it. And now that I'm looking for it, I will get the definition of what that word meant, because I had not. And it was peripatetic, is Peripatetic. Peripatetic. So if you
It's
got
like
the
a
wrong
very
word, don't bother putting it in there.
It's like a very pathetic pastor.
Yeah. The progress of inexperienced peripatetic palpitations. That's got a capital on it. So anyway, we're probably peripatetic.
I think every day becomes more and more apparent every time I walk in that door. As I tell Randy every time I leave, I say, well, I'm heading into the factory. Off to the factory today.
Off to the factory today.
Yeah. Deciding what else I can destroy around here. I'm doing a pretty good job of it.
Oh my
Putting
goodness.
envelopes, the labels on the flap of the envelope instead of the front of the
I know.
envelope.
Sometimes we just get distracted. That's
Yeah.
right. That's
Yeah.
right.
I do have some really quick facts for you here that are,
Oh, okay.
you know, this is the time of year where dry skin is it really is
I
a
don't
problem.
know what that has to do with soup, but you
Okay.
get it.
Well, yeah, but
Go
anyway,
with the dry skin.
anyway, as soon as you, this is hints now.
Oh, hints.
As
These
soon
are
as
hints.
As soon as you get out of the shower or the tub, like I'd fall over that,
Okay.
while your skin is still damp, slather on moisturizing lotion. You know, Kathy Korn would be glad of that because she sells Avon and she could make a lot more business with us promoting that, don't you think? And then choose a lotion brand that has petroleum jelly or lanolin high on the ingredients list, like
Okay.
I ever read that. Don't go outside any season without using sunscreen of at least SPF 30 on your face and hands.
Okay.
Hands too. I wear gloves on my hands in the winter. Try adding lemon juice. Oh, this is great. Try letting lemon juice or vinegar to bath water.
Okay. See,
So-
I take a shower, so I don't.
Yeah,
really do
well, I
that.
guess you could pour it on yourself.
Yeah.
Being highly alkaline may make your skin feel itchy. To soften dry skin, add 1 cup of powdered milk
Ah.
to your bath.
Okay.
It worked for Cleopatra.
Well, and if you get thirsty, you just put a little chocolate syrup in there and have chocolate. Just drink it up.
I guess we make it hot enough. But then it says don't do steaming hot water. Well, that runs that hot chocolate idea.
All right,
out
that
too.
runs that out.
Yeah. And
Well, those are interesting. So you see,
blame
there's
Jody for
we
that.
are a dual purpose
Yeah.
chat cook pray here. We also give you little hints on how to keep your skin moist in
Moist.
all of this
Moist.
dry weather. Okay, I better be watching if Vicky puts another thing here. She keeps saying scroll up. What do you Randy's starting his one liners. What do you call a bear with no teeth? A gummy bear. That's
That's better than you.
oh goodness sakes.
Oh
Oh.
man.
Well, while we're waiting, I'm going to read you a few lines from, Climbing the Hill, which was the poem that she read during the inauguration, Amanda Gorman. I'm going to go for her last verses here while Marty checks the soup again. And I look at these words and I can just see the vision here and the hope for our country. And these last few verses, I'm starting with this line. We will not be turned around or interrupted by intimidation, because we know our inaction and inertia will be the inheritance of the next generation. our blunders become their burdens. But one thing is certain, if we merge mercy with might, and might with right, then love becomes our legacy and changes our children's birthright. So let us leave behind a country better than the one we were left with. Every breath from my bronze-pounded chest, we will raise this wounded world into a wondrous one. We will rise from the gold-limbed hills of the west. We will rise from the windswept northeast, where our forefathers first realized revolution. We will rise from the lake-rimmed cities of the Midwestern states. We will rise from the sun-baked south. We will rebuild, reconcile, and recover. And every known nook of our nation and every corner called our country, our people, diverse and beautiful, will emerge, battered and beautiful. When day comes, we step out of the shade, aflame and unafraid. The new dawn blooms as we free it, for there is always light, if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it. I tell you, words are so wonderful, and when they're put into this form, there is so much emotion and power behind them. She's quite a talented young woman, and I think will go very far in her profession. Okay, anything else?
I'm gonna go get the soup. I'm calling it done.
You're calling it done?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Very good. She's getting the soup. This is what I've been waiting for. I'm very hungry today. So, hopefully, there's the soup as she shows you. Yummy. Yummy soup. Well, I do have to say it does look good. I like that. Do you need a label or you just use that big spoon? That is quite the spoon.
I know.
Wow. Okay. And of course, Marty is still on her mostly liquid diet or whatever.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it.
Whatever you want to call it.
Okay,
Yes.
now I'm gonna add a little bit of the
Cream. Okay. And this is just a little added thing you do for the soup. Is that
It
correct?
said to do it.
Okay, it says to do it.
Yes.
Mulligatawny. That almost sounds like Wakanda, you know, with Black Panther. Wakanda.
Okay.
Mulligatawny. That's what we're saying today. All right. She's getting her some broth. And then I'll say a prayer.
Very good, very
I'm
good.
not eating before I say a prayer. Thank you for those words. They were so beautiful, Kathy. I just loved it, and I just wanted to share a portion of it today because they're so powerful. Okay.
All right.
All right. We ready?
Ready.
Let's see. All gracious and loving God, we thank you that each and every day you grace us with love. And we ask that we learn how to use that love and share it with others. We thank you for this show. We thank you for seeing our friends, even though at a distance, virtually. We thank you for Marty, who searches out these recipes, even though I may tease her about it. And we just thank you that we have this time to share beautiful words, to share recipes, to share laughter and joy. Be with us as we continue our journey and as we begin the journey of Lent. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Okay, here I go. I'm a-tasting it. Number one, it's hot. Number two, it is tasty. For me, I think I'm going to get a little more salt.
Of course you are.
Of course I am. And some pepper. It's a beautiful color, especially when you put that cream in.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta show them the pure, pretty gold it is. Okay, let me find my way to your screen. It's a golden little thing. Yeah. Mm-mm-mm. And you know what? Just adding that little cream thickens it up so much.
Changes it.
Oh yes. Add that little bit of more salt. Springs the flavors up. You have the, if people are writing something, are you
Mhm.
seeing it on your thing?
Yeah,
You
Darlene and Miss Jurgensen is watching us.
Hi, Darlene. Mm. Yeah, you're right. You can definitely, I mean, you know the curry's there, but it's not
Overpowering.
overpowering, right?
Then I use, the curry I use is from Penzi, of course, and it's
Mhm.
called the Now curry, and it's the best curry I've found, quite frankly.
It's really, really tasty. I do, I'm
Well, it's not anything
and you
I-
know what's weird is, where the heck did those apples go?
They're all in there.
But I don't taste apple.
No,
That is interesting. There's apple in here. I don't taste it. Okay, here's what I like about. Wait, I can't talk with my mouth full.
I want to bet, you do it every week.
It's a different. Hey, I just felt another little flavor in the back of my throat, but I don't know what it is. No, it's a different flavor, but it's very mild. But you can taste all. It seems like there's once you start eating it, I can taste all these other flavors in my mouth. Let's see. Oh, Aziz. Hi, Aziz.
He was watching us last week, too.
Yes. Yes. Oh, boy. All right. I think you all would enjoy this if you fix it. It's a great winter meal.
Mm-hmm.
And like they said, you can make it and put it on steaming rice. You know, you could also put it on like some kind of a crust and make it like a pot pie. I would love that.
You would love that.
I would love a pie crust made in a square and then pour the soup over it. Yes. I
Of
would.
course you would.
Uh-huh.
Have salt in that crust, I bet
Mhm.
you. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or a biscuit. You could put a biscuit on top. Make your biscuit real hard, you know, and float it on top and eat that.
How about when I made those little hearts and put it on top of that soup that time?
Mm-hmm.
That was the pot pie, the easy pot pie.
That's right. See,
So
that's
you
what
could
I'm
just make-
thinking. That's what I'm thinking. Very good. Okay. Anybody have any books that they've read that they want to suggest for reading? Oh, Michelle says, I'm getting hungry just watching YouTube. That's what we're good for.
Yep.
Make you all get hungry and do these recipes. So good.
Really is.
It is good. Now, did you put cream on yours?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
A different flavor.
Yeah, it's totally different. Nothing you would have expected.
Nothing now. I from what I read, I wasn't sure what was gonna happen.
Yeah, it's not like any soup you've probably ever fixed before.
Mm-mm. I'm just amazed that the apples just disappear.
Oh,
I mean, the
there it is.
flavors probably are masked under something else, but
And it's just half an apple.
I know it's just half an apple. But I wonder what flavor that gives it. I wonder what it would taste like if you hadn't put a half apple in there.
Well, after I spent 50 cents on that half, I was about to use it. Good grief, I hadn't put it in there. I just heard about it when I got home about, you didn't put the apple in after all that?
Mmm.
And it's just a fourth of a cup of rice.
I know. And is that all it calls for?
Yes.
So that's just used as thickener.
Yeah, basically.
Wow.
That's it.
That's good. Anybody putting any books up there? Movies on Netflix you want to share that you think we should watch?
I haven't watched any lately, but when I go down to sew,
Yeah.
then I take my iPad down there and I watch movies while I sew, which might explain why some of my sewing was a little odd.
Why
at
you
times.
have needle marks in your fingers that you sew to your masks?
No, it's like I made the seam a little too narrow and needed to be wider, and I had to rip that out because I wasn't paying attention. I was watching a movie.
Yes.
Oh, Andrea says she read the book Fast Girls
Okay, Fast Girls, who's it by?
by Elsa Hooper, a great book about elite, I thought it was going to be about us, Fast Girls, but it's about elite athletes.
One word is wrong there, girls.
Well, you know, that was a slang term. Elite athletes, their struggles as women and minorities. One of the main characters is from Fulton.
I'll be darned. Fast Girls by who again?
Elsa Hooper.
Elsa Hooper. About women track or athletes, just women athletes or
Elite.
elite
Athletes.
athletes.
Elite.
Well, now
Elite.
they're covering us.
Yeah,
That's-
yeah,
yes.
we're elite, all right.
Yes.
Kind of like Fleet, isn't it? Oh, and Jane Mulmeyer is watching us today.
Hi,
Oh.
Jane. Well, that's good. Okay, so Fast Girls. Look that. See if you want to read that. Sounds good, Andrea.
And I read American Dirt, and that was interesting. It's not a real light, happy read,
Mm-hmm.
I would say. And then I read, I read that the lights went off.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
It doesn't look bad when the lights go out. In fact, it doesn't look much different than before. You know what I'm saying?
I read the book, let's see, the little old lady who did everything bad, and that was pretty darn funny, actually.
Okay.
It's
Now
a-
here's a suggestion by Vicky. If you have Netflix, White Tiger, a very interesting story about India and their caste system, but it's a movie, not a documentary. So it's probably like a historical fiction movie. But I love those kind that are, you know,
Yeah.
tell you some history and yet it's a story.
I don't like to get too educated during this time. Make my head swell even more.
That's right.
My hat might fit then.
That would help. That would help.
Oh, I can't wait for next week's Chat, Cook, Pray.
I know.
That will be so
Remember.
fun. Watching Pastor
It's
Karen cook.
tailgating.
Hey,
And
do you have to put that in kind of a wreath look with those wings?
I'm not setting my wings in a wreath, no.
Well,
I'm just gonna, and it's very simple, if you have those big wings, it only takes about 8 or 9 of them, but they suggest about a pound and a half of wings, and you put them in this 4 or 5 ingredient Parmesan, garlic that you mix up with a little bit of cayenne pepper and blah blah blah.
and you love those garlic Parmesan wings.
Yes.
You order them every time we go
That
to
where is it we
Wingstop.
used to buy them?
Wingstop.
Wingstop.
That's where we get them.
They're so good. But these, what is so cool about them, they rival that, and you're doing them in an air fryer, and all you do is spray the oil on the pan and spray the oil over the wings after you've dredged them in this Parmesan garlic stuff. Oh, they are so good.
They're probably healthier for you. Than
They're
the
much
big garlic.
healthier. They're so yummy. Mm-hmm.
Well, let's hope they don't turn out like my cookies.
I tell you what though, that they got eaten. It didn't
They
matter that they burned.
No,
No.
we obviously don't have a very good culinary palate.
Okay, I have to admit, Marty,
Oh,
I do
and Lori
like
wants
this.
to know
Oh.
if the wings can be cooked in the oven if you don't have an air fryer.
Yes, and it would just be, I can give you it's just longer. It's just
Yeah.
longer.
Need to cook them till they're done.
Yeah. And I think you probably need a little more oil or something
Yeah,
in
you
the
may.
in the cookie sheet. But it's usually about a third again time wise longer. So instead these take 25 minutes in the air fryer. So it'd probably take about 35 to
So
40.
next week, while yours are cooking, when you get yours done, then I'll do my cookies.
Your cookies.
Now, I will say that I got distracted at home because the dryer went off and had to have the clothes out, and
Yeah.
so I cooked the sauce part of it that I pour over the Rice Krispies. I cooked a little too long and I made concrete cookie. Well, I mean, they turned out really great. I loved them, but Randy said he'd need to go to the dentist afterwards and get his teeth fixed. But really, it was fine. I didn't stop me from eating them.
Well, of course, because you're starving to death.
Well, that was before I was starving.
Oh, that was before you were starving to death. Okay.
I made them at Christmas
You know,
time. because
all
they were
these
gluten-free.
veggies are done.
Yeah. I just turned up the heat a little bit. I didn't simmer, I boiled.
But it is a very tasty soup. And for people who do like curry flavor, like I said, I can taste it, but it's not to the point that
It's
it
not overwhelming.
bugs me. But if you like curry, you could probably add more.
Yeah, you probably could. There's a whole bunch there's many recipes out there. Some call for adding a whole bunch more stuff than I put in. One recipe, the one from Seinfeld, called for a can of tomatoes and all this stuff. No.
And that one had 6 chili peppers and, I mean, talk
Not
about
bad.
making it a little spicy. But,
That would be a typical Indian dish. If it's hot, then you're from India.
But this is very good. And it wasn't hard to make, because I watched it. I didn't have to make it.
I think you could even do it. Yeah.
That was good. Well, you guys, believe it or not, we're coming to the end of our time.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
It's our favorite hour of the week.
It is. And it's
We
so
look
fun
forward
to
to
be with you. And it's so fun this week because the Chiefs won! Yay! Oh, so exciting.
Oh, it was.
So,
I've been listening to all of the reporters
I
going
have
on.
too.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. I love it.
It's really
And you know, comparing Brady, you know, the seasoned,
the goat to the kid.
the GOAT to the kid and all
Oh.
that. And I just really,
You know,
what a matchup. What
You know, the thing that made the most impression on me is this morning I had seen during the game. Well, actually, I kind of listened to it because I'm kind of superstitious.
Yeah, I know you are.
And so I listened to the game with my head down, and then I look at replays. But when the guy fumbled the
Hardman.
Hardman
I
and
know.
McCole, and when he covered his head with the blanket, and Mahomes went over and talked to him this morning, they had the video, actual video, and he went over and told him. It was like they said, well, you know, Mahomes says he doesn't have kids yet, but you know what? He knows how to talk to a kid. He said, look me in the eye. He said, that's what I tell to my kid. I want to know that you heard what I had to say. You look me in the eye. And he told him, you know, you'll make other great plays. Come on.
And then he did that day. He did that
he
in the
did.
game.
He did more than once.
Well,
So,
they
yeah.
were wonderful.
And they said the difference was Mahomes does not yell at his players when they make a mistake, and they said Brady does.
Well, I'm not going to say anything one way or the other because I don't want to, you know, put a hex on on the day.
Betty Ferris says it's her favorite hour as well. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
And Bill Wooten says it's his favorite hour.
Oh, Bill, thank you. We do. We have so much fun, but I do have to say, when Marty brought me this, and then this thing for me to read, I thought, well, this is going to be different, but it really is good, and I'm not putting you on. It's really good. So we're gonna sing ourselves out with our kazoos.
Oh, we will as soon as I get
And
the music.
as soon as she gets the music up. Next week it's wings. Hey, I wonder, should we drive a car in here and put the tailgate?
Well, you got any other brilliant ideas that you'd like to come up with?
I'm just trying to think of something that'll get our watchers interested in what's coming up.
Well, it might be a little more than what we can
It
handle.
might be a little more than what we can handle, but
Well,
wings and cookies.
It's too cold to be out in the parking lot tailgating out
That's
of the
true.
flex.
I don't think we should do it out there.
Mm-mm.
That would be too hard. But wings and cookies, you can't go wrong.
Oh,
Wings and
absolutely. Health
cookies.
food. Health food.
That's right. Okay, tell me when. Do you
Go.
have- well, wait a minute.
Oh,
Chat, cook, and pray, oh, oh, chat. Cook and pray, oh, oh, chat. Cook and pray, oh, oh, chat. Cook, pray, amen. Woo!
go Chiefs!
Go Chiefs, have a glorious week, and we'll see you next week. Bye.